Alpine's latest move has shocked everyone in the F1 world. They are considering abandoning their parent company, Renault, as their engine supplier. This shocking decision is leading to a major shakeup in the sport. How does this move affect the team and the future of F1? Why is Alpine making such a bold choice? There are so many questions, and we've got all the answers for you. Renault just can't seem to catch a break. Following Alpine's disappointing F1 season so far, their disastrous debut at Le Mans, and the ongoing saga surrounding their drivers, you might think they've hit rock bottom. However, recent news suggests otherwise. Alpine is reportedly considering a move away from its parent company's engine manufacturing. Bruno Famin has been in discussions with rival engine manufacturers to explore the team's options moving forward. This development reflects poorly on Renault's engine project, which has struggled for the past decade. The Renault engine has not been up to par and is now deemed unfit for the 2026 regulations. For a while, fans have enjoyed poking fun at Alpine and Renault due to their serious self-perception and misplaced confidence in being a top contender in the sport. However, this situation has turned from humorous to somewhat sad, the impact of a potential split. Why is Alpine considering a split from Renault? Given the circumstances, it's understandable, but what would this mean for the team moving forward? If a split occurs, there could be significant winners. To understand the situation, we must look at the facts. Renault has never fully grasped the engine regulations introduced in 2014, a failure that contributed to the end of Sebastian Vettel and Red Bull's dominant reign. It's widely known in the paddock that a Renault engine can be a disadvantage of 2 to 5 seconds on a good day. The French manufacturer has never managed to master the hybrid regulations, and it's unlikely this will change with the 2026 engine regulations. Alpine's consideration of a split from Renault signals a lack of confidence in their future with the current engine setup. With the upcoming changes in 2026, the reliance on hybrid technology will increase, potentially worsening Renault's performance issues. Moreover, Alpine has been conducting a thorough internal investigation into its poor start to the year, which has seen it struggle to get out of Q1 at most races. The investigation revealed that the engine program from its parent company, Renault, is not up to standard. This realization, although slow in coming, has led the sporting division of Renault to consider a split from Renault as an engine manufacturer, opting to become a customer team instead. This idea at first glance seems quite radical. The notion of the French team swallowing their pride to allow another manufacturer's name on their cars is almost unthinkable. Like any other F1 manufacturer, Renault would not want to use their cars as advertising boards for the companies they compete against. Initially, there was speculation that Alpine might approach Red Bull to use their new engine program. However, this possibility was quickly dismissed by Christian Horner, Red Bull's team principal. Red Bull's response: Christian Horner responded to the speculation by stating, "I think we need to establish ourselves first. We don't want to overstretch ourselves. I think already supplying 2 teams in 2026 is probably even slightly beyond optimum in year 1, but it just gives us the capacity and capability for further down the line. So I think first of all, we need to firmly establish ourselves, and then we can take more on from there." With Red Bull out of the picture, Alpine faces the difficult task of deciding which of the remaining 4 manufacturers they might partner with. This decision is crucial, as it will determine their competitiveness under the new regulations set to take effect in 2026. Renault and Alpine must carefully evaluate their options, considering the pros and cons of each potential partner. Alpine's internal investigation and subsequent decisions highlight the challenges faced by F1 teams in maintaining competitiveness. The potential split from Renault as an engine supplier underscores the urgency for Alpine to find a reliable and powerful engine to match the new regulations. Given the current situation, Alpine may find themselves in a position where they don't get to choose their engine supplier. Due to F1 regulations, the team supplying the least engines is obligated to provide an engine for Alpine. As it stands, this would be Honda, who will be the in-house manufacturer for Aston Martin. Audi, protected by a clause that gives new entrants to the sport no such obligation, is not an option. The situation raises questions about F1's decision-making process. It's frustrating to see F1 favoring Renault and Alpine, who have shown no clear direction or competitiveness, over a well-prepared team like Andretti. Andretti has created a vast infrastructure, hired experienced personnel, and partnered with an American automotive giant, yet they are being strong-armed out for reasons beyond sporting merit. Meanwhile, Renault and Alpine, who have struggled to make significant contributions to the sport, are given leeway. Renault and Alpine's underperformance. Renault and Alpine's involvement in F1 has been underwhelming. Their recent performances, including the poor showing at Le Mans with double DNFs due to engine failures, highlight their struggles. If Renault cannot provide a competitive engine and is considering benching their F1 engine project, it raises the question of whether they should sell the team to a franchise with a clear plan and ambition for the future. This would allow a more competent and prepared team to take their place. Rumors about Andretti's bid to enter the sport have been circulating for months. Alpine has consistently denied that the team is up for sale. Renault CEO Luca De Meo has doubled down on this stance, stating, "There is no way we are going to give up. It's not my style. We will not even sell a part of this thing. We don't need the money." Despite these claims, Renault sold a quarter of the team last year, which raises doubts about their commitment. The recent investment by an all-star team, which now owns 24% of the Alpine team, may not be pleased with the team's current trajectory. These investors, many of whom are American or have American interests, could start applying internal pressure on the team to make decisive changes. The potential to capitalize on the American market could steer the team towards collaboration with Andretti, gaining momentum quickly. If Honda is forced to provide engines to Alpine, it could create an interesting situation. This scenario is somewhat akin to paying for someone else's dinner because they decided not to after eating. However, this could open doors for certain drivers who might otherwise be stuck in their current situations. Yuki Tsunoda, a Honda Works driver, isn't highly rated by Red Bull's top brass. His contract extension until the end of next year is largely due to Honda's ongoing involvement with Red Bull until the new regulations kick in. If Honda begins supplying engines to Alpine, it could offer Tsunoda a chance to continue his F1 career with his parent company. This arrangement would allow him to avoid any disruptions at Aston Martin, where Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll are firmly in place for different reasons. As long as Alonso wants to drive, he will continue to do so at Aston Martin, with Stroll also secure in his seat for obvious reasons. However, having another team like Alpine under Honda's influence could provide flexibility and opportunities for drivers like Tsunoda. If Honda were to supply engines to Alpine, it could significantly benefit both Honda and Yuki Tsunoda. This move would secure Tsunoda's career and free up a seat at AlphaTauri, formerly Scuderia Toro Rosso. AlphaTauri could then focus on its primary role, nurturing the next generation of talent from junior formulas while also accommodating experienced drivers like Daniel Ricciardo. Red Bull does not highly rate Yuki Tsunoda, but Honda's involvement necessitates his presence in the team. Despite Tsunoda's presence, last season's impressive 5-race stint by Liam Lawson showcased his talent. Lawson, who jumped into the car mid-season without testing, kept up with Tsunoda, who had 3 years of experience on the team. His performance was even better than the driver he replaced. Due to his outstanding performance, Lawson was promised a seat to keep him settled at the team. However, as we approach the next season, it seems increasingly likely that this promise might not be fulfilled. If Honda were to reclaim Tsunoda for a new team, it would finally allow Lawson to secure a seat in Formula One. Ricciardo's presence would provide valuable experience and mentorship to Lawson, who has shown he deserves a place in F1. The potential split between Renault and Alpine and the possible involvement of Honda open up numerous possibilities. The decision could force Honda to provide engines to a competitor or lead to a collaboration with Andretti. Both scenarios could significantly impact the driver market and team dynamics. This situation adds complexity to an already busy, silly season in Formula One. Teams, drivers and manufacturers must navigate these changes and make strategic decisions that will shape the sport's future. The potential split could lead to unexpected alliances and opportunities, influencing the competitive landscape of F1. So, what do you think? Could this split happen? And which direction will it take? Will Honda be obliged to supply engines to a competitor, or will the partnership with Andretti materialize? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more.